Warning, warning. This is a global ice out. Testing the right speaker. Right. Testing the left speaker. Left. Sound successfully recovered. Swan Commander. Connected. And now, the countdown has begun. And now, are you ready for a journey that goes beyond the norms? The Federal Prospects Hockey League just celebrated its 15th anniversary. With a footprint and fan base rapidly expanding, Swan Hockey is now bringing you behind the scenes. Beyond what you see at games. Beyond the arenas. Beyond the crowds. This is FPHL, Beyond the Glass.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of FPHL Beyond the Glass. I am your host, Eric Swanick, Swan Commander on social media. If you are brand new here, way to be late. Just kidding. Welcome. Happy to have you guys here. We are heading to Port Huron Prowlers. And we're going to be joined by General Manager and Head Coach Matt Graham. Matt has been the man in Port Huron for a very long time. They have some really cool new things happening for this year. We're going to dive into that with him. And we also have a newer channel in our Discord called Shower Thoughts, which is just some random thoughts that kind of make you scratch your head and go, what? So we're going to get Matt to weigh in on a topic. And yeah, let's dive into this. Hey, everyone. Don't forget to join the Swan Hockey Discord server. Joining is free and gains you access to our podcast chats, giveaways, season pass discussion and help, junior hockey camps and showcase discussion, NHL on Xbox and PlayStation discussion, and more. Join today for free at swanhockey.com. All right, Matt, what's going on, man? Thanks for being here. How's your summer going?
It's been busy. Just trying to get everything situated and organized over here, but it's been good. It's been really good. Like I said, it's busy and it's a different kind of busy. So I'm happy we're only about, 25, 30 days away. So it'll be exciting to start back up.
Yeah, for sure. And what's new on your end? Obviously you guys have gone through some changes, ownership changes. What's new and exciting? Yeah,
I'd say, the amount of excitement that we've been building up this off season has been, it's been incredible, honestly. There's a lot of things in the work and a lot of plans that we've been working on. And I'd say that's a lot of what's kept me busy is, trying to, get things organized to the new standard, trying to work on some of the things we're implementing. He talked about, new ice mapping software, which is going to, and projectors that's going to allow videos to be displayed on the ice.
That's cool.
We have 2 new projectors coming into the arena. We're moving our merchandise down to the what was the old pro shop, and it'll be a team store now. So we've been working on that, and then just really reaching out to new businesses, new companies, and then more people as well than ever. I'd say we have 2 people that we've hired for group ticket sales as well too. So it's we've really grown from a staff of 2 or 3 to 4 to about 10 to probably 15 or something like that. But it's been busy and it's been good.
Yeah, and that's been the common theme so far is growth. Like the league is growing exponentially in terms of footprint, fan base, and then on an individual scale, like individually with the teams as well. Everything that you just mentioned. How has that transition been for you? So you're the last grandfathered in player coach, correct?
Yep. Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. And it's what has that been like for you over the years obviously that's got a number of challenges, that you have to, really, really be on your game. I remember when I was coaching junior, I got in, I started coaching junior really young. I was almost the same age as the players, and it was a tough balance. And I could only imagine what that would be like, not only being the coach, but playing.
Yeah, to speak on that a little bit, I learned from Joe Pace. So he was, the original when it came to that. And it kind of, you have the respect of the guys because you're out there battling and competing with them. And, I think, just transitioning into head coach, It's tough. It has its challenges for sure. But the experience I get to gain from this, and what we get to build here, I wouldn't have it any other way. And now, we promoted Chris Paul in this offseason to associate head coach as well too. He's a guy that came in about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And he was supposed to play for us, and then suffered an injury. He's a very knowledgeable player, knowledgeable person of the game. I respect his opinion quite a bit, and I've given him the reins to run the bench, and him, myself, and Alex Johnson. Behind the scenes, we organize everything, structure systems, practices, things like that. Game plans and whatnot, and then we all just go out there and execute it. It's a collaborative effort for sure. When I was just doing it by myself or with Alex, he ran the D, I ran the forwards, and it's a little easier, I'd say, at this level than like the NHL or a place where you have 12 forwards, because
Sure.
you can only you can only double shift guys or put guys out there every other. You need to utilize all 10 players up front and then all 6 on the back end too. Guys had a pretty good understanding of what roles and what situations they played in. It was just really staying organized on our part and making sure that we we're deliberate with delivering our message to them.
Yeah, and it's there's obviously so much that goes into it, and it's a tough balance. And I think people don't realize or kind of forget, because I know like over the years, some people are probably like, oh, these guys are unorganized, they got a coach playing, yada yada, and then you come play and they get humbled real quick, right? It's like, oh, like these guys are pros, they do have their they do have their stuff together, they are they're organized, they're pros.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I would say the stigma is far less now than it was when I first took over. But we're definitely organized. I would put us up against any other staff in the league when it comes to knowledge of the game, organization of the details and structure, all that stuff. I would say we're right up there with the best in the league when it comes to that. And then, the respect of the players, I would say, anyone that's been here over the past 4 or 5 years, I can't pick out one player that I think would have a bad thing to say. Everyone's really enjoyed their experience. We have guys that are, they love coming back here, and they only want to play in Port Huron, which is, a testament to kind of what we've done. Not just me, but obviously, the staff, and now, ownership as well. This is really a good spot to play and a good spot to go develop and compete for a championship year after year.
Yeah, for sure. And and one other thing that I wanted to ask you, obviously with all the growth and the trend of the Federal League, on upward, what has that been like in terms of, as a coach that has been here since, I mean, you started here, what, 2018 coaching this team?
No, so I took over just the year after COVID. I worked with Joe. So I came here at Port Huron in 2017-18.
But you were assistant coach then, right?
I was just a player that year. So
You were just a player that year. Okay.
Yeah, I got selected here in the dispersal draft from Danbury when the Titans went under.
Okay.
And then I came here, played a year, and then Joe Pace Sr. left, and I took over the team with Joe Pace Jr. He was the head coach, GM, and I was his player assistant. And then when he left, I think it was in 2021, the year after COVID, that's when I took over and I brought Alex on.
Okay. Yeah. I'm looking at it here. Yeah. They have you listed as player assistant back in 2018. That's what I was
Oh, okay.
getting thrown off. But so as somebody that's been there though, you've been in in the same spot for a long time. How has that been like for you, like in seeing the transition from where the Federal League was then to where it is today?
Yeah, it's significantly different. And I can speak to, I spent time in the Federal League in 2013-14 as well too. So I mean, back then it was a whole lot different. And then in 2017-18, when I came back, it was different then. I think, you had some guys that, were, part-time players and guys from the area that would, hop on teams just because, the skill level of those guys over the guys that wanted to play in the league at the time, was significantly better. And I think over the years, you've really seen a shift of, they don't have that anymore. It's everyone here is a full-time player. Everyone here, has a good resume and has played high level hockey before. So the skill level's definitely gotten a lot better. I would say, the organizational, the organizations have gotten a lot better, and then like even the coaching's gotten a lot better too. You see some of the guys that are getting hired
Yeah.
now, from Europe and the SP and places like that. It's these guys have resumes and they know what they're doing now. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's definitely a big, a big advancement over the years has been the coaching. I think a lot of people share that same opinion that the league has been attracting higher level coaches, and with that is coming higher level players. I mean, even looking at the transactions and stuff over the last weeks, months, you could see the caliber of player that's coming in that the league is attracting, and it's really great to see. Let's dive into your roster a bit. What some of the acquisitions you've made over the summer. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
yeah, I think when I'm looking at my roster, the first thing that pops out is, it was the most important thing for us was to make sure that we returned our goaltenders, right? So, Reed Cooper and Valtteri Nusiainen, they were the backbone of our team last year. When we really, decided that we want to build from the back out. So those guys coming back, we've had a little bit of change over in roster construction and stuff. I'm the kind of guy that I don't feel necessary to keep guys from playing in the league, or if they want to, go out and pursue other opportunities, I'm more than happy to, help them facilitate those. So, you have seen a little bit of changeover, but I think the return we got in some of those was pretty significant. When you talk about getting a guy like, Nick Favaro to come back in, he's a guy that, we're really excited about. Connor Bazal, another piece of that trade that we got. And then, Blake Anderson too. Like those are three really good players that I think we added to the depth of our roster. When we look up front at what we're returning, having Reggie come back, that was a huge grab for us last year. He was a very important player for us down the stretch as well too. And then, just some other guys that have been here for a few years, like Jamie Bussell, Austin Federley, guys like that. Those guys were important as well too. But, going back to building from the back out, like I think, the defensive pairings that we've put together and some of the guys that we have returning, that's going to be the strong point of our team this year. Brett Lockhart, Timmy Organ, Ben Brockway, Brian Parsons, like those guys, so.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and like obviously, back end so important, and not every coach builds like that, right? Like I think, it's interesting to, talk to different teams, see how they're building their teams. I think most guys would typically, say, yeah, like we build from the back end out. But then you have other guys that are just kind of like, hey, that's what we got a goalie for. We're gonna, go a bunch of firepower up front, and we're gonna try to win in a shootout each night. Not a literal shootout, but those high scoring games and whatnot. So it's interesting to hear the different approaches to this.
For sure. And I think that's part of the shift I would talk about too, is I think that over the years, I can remember back in, a long time ago, games were won in this league 8-6, 7-5, and it was the
Yep.
team that could score the most was the team that would have the most success, right? So, now we've shifted our focus, especially here, to winning those 1-2 goal games. Limiting the other team to scoring, just under two or one, and then trying to beat them and wear them down in that sense of the game. But yeah, that's part of the shift as well. I would say over the last 7-8 years.
Yeah, and how what else are you noticing in terms of just the game in general, right? Like the game, I feel, I think a lot of people feel that the game has gotten so skilled these days. Like you're seeing everything, like the skill is probably at an all-time high. Um, some of the I don't want to say that the physicality is coming down, but it's not. It's just different than it was in the olden days and stuff. And I think that even I think you're seeing that trickle into this league as well.
That's the most exciting part about this league, I would say, is that this is it's still old school hockey. Our like what we preach here is we preach physicality. We teach playing on the edge. Those are things that we want and we expect every player that comes in here to do. So that's our brand and our style of hockey for sure. And I think the league too as well. Like it's a more physical style of game. There's a lot more that goes on out there than you see at like higher levels of hockey. And I think that's why the fans enjoy it too, right? That's what keeps them coming back. I'd speak to people around Port Huron, and Port Huron's a very rich hockey history, like historical town, right? They've had hockey here
Yeah.
since, forever.
Yeah.
And that's what they like, is they like that blue collar old school style of hockey. And they make comments about the NHL and the AHL all the time. And it's like, they have more fun coming to our games because they're more exciting. So I'm like, yeah, this is the product. This is what we're trying to sell. So come on out.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely, and that's something that we, back in episode 1 with, the commissioner and, Don Kernan and, the league staff and everything. That's, one thing that we spoke about during that episode was that it is an exciting brand of hockey. And even, even though that the skill has gone up, it is still, a physical brand of hockey. Even though the league is tightening up and, the scores, maybe getting lower, it still is higher scoring than, like the NHL. It's just a very, very exciting brand of hockey, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I would say a lot of that too, and I think Don probably said this, but there's more mistakes at this level of hockey, right? So you're going to see more odd man rushes. You're going to see more, really dangerous turnovers and things like that. And like as a coach, like that's what you're trying to eliminate and limit, right? So we're trying to not play an exciting brand of hockey. We're trying to play a physically exciting brand of hockey, but
Right.
we don't want to run and gun. We don't want to go back and forth up and down the ice, right? We want to. We want to, bore teams to death and make sure that we play very disciplined and we don't make a lot of mistakes. But I can see that from the league's perspective though, that it is exciting for sure.
Yeah, and to your point, yeah, like even though you are tightening up and everything like that, like mistakes are going to happen, right? There are mistakes at this level, more mistakes than the next level, and there's more mistakes at that level than the next level, and so on and so on. But the one cool thing is those mistakes also create opportunity, right? Not every mistake ends up in the back of the net. Like you could have a mistake that gives a 3-on-1, and yeah, 3-on-1's exciting. You don't see a ton of those in the NHL, but it also gives the opportunity for the goalie to make a big stop on the 3-on-1, right? Same thing. Like you'll see the odd 2-on-0, and they're probably more common, maybe 10 years ago in this league, but you'll still see, the odd 2-on-0. When's the last time you've seen a goalie in the NHL make a big 2-on-0 save? You don't really see it because there's not really the opportunity to do it, where the mistakes here creates excitement on the mistake, but then it also creates opportunity for more excitement, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
Yeah. Where are you guys looking forward to going this year? Who are you looking forward to playing to, and where are you looking forward to going?
Yeah, I think we play in our pod mostly in our division, so it's always exciting going out to Danbury. It's those will
Yeah.
be exciting games, especially when the season ended last year. Those will be exciting, and then I'm really looking forward to playing Binghamton as well too. I like if you want to be the best, you have to stack up well against the best and beat the best. So definitely looking forward to those games as well. Topeka, they have an awesome facility down there too.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun trip. But yeah, definitely, Binghamton and Danbury for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's been, another common theme on this show that, a lot of teams have said is that, Binghamton's, circled. Binghamton's circled on their calendar. That's the one they're excited for. That's the team they're looking forward to playing. What's, two-time defending champs? What's your approach to them?
Yeah, I mean, I think Scherzy's done a really good job up there. He's assembled a good group that has bought into what he's talking about and the way he's preaching it. So I think, it's recruiting for us that we need to get a little bit better. We need to get a little faster, things like that. But, my approach to them, we'll have to see how they play this year, and then we'll, have to, fine tune in what we're, how we're going to play, and then get really good at that, and make adjustments as we see fit.
Yeah. And how, for everybody at home, like how do you not get fixated on that? Right. It's like, it's a very, like I said, very common theme of the show where everybody's talking about Binghamton. We got to beat Binghamton. If we can't build a team to beat Binghamton, it's, not all for nothing, but what are we doing? How do you keep that goal in mind, but not get fixated on that and realize that, hey, we got to stay focused on everything. Like, yes, the Binghamton's important. Yes, it's circled on the calendar, and we want to build a team to beat Binghamton, but there's other teams we got to beat as well.
Yeah, for sure. Just being present, really. I mean, like, taking it day by day, focusing on, accomplishing a little, each day and getting a little bit better each day is the most important thing. And then, taking those games, not just with them, but with, the other top teams in the league is measuring sticks to kind of try to see where you're at and how you, stack up. But that's something that we're, always talking about over here is continuously getting better and continuously improving, right? So, I talked to a player the other day and I said, there's two ways to get better throughout the season, right? You can either develop players or you can replace players, right? So, we want to constantly develop guys so that we don't have to replace them or we're unable to replace them. But even as a team, continuing to develop throughout the season and making sure that you're peaking when it comes time to, play those important games. Because, anything can happen in a 3-game series, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just staying present and focusing on taking it one day at a time or 1 month at a time or a series of games at a time.
Yeah, for sure. And how many times do you know how many times you play them off the top of your head?
I don't off the top of my head. I know we play Indiana quite a bit. We play Watertown quite a bit, and then I think Topeka right after that. So I'd probably say 7 to 10.
Okay. Okay. And how about in terms of other teams, right? So in any new rivalries forming, so obviously you guys, lost your friends in Danville, Motor Cities, Motor City will be back. So for anybody at home, Motor City is, they're not playing this season, but they will be back for the following season. Any new rivalries taking the place of those right now that
Yeah,
you're noticing?
it's tough. I mean, so we actually share ownership with Motor City now, right?
Yep.
So when they come back, that'll be a huge rivalry, and I know they're actively working on that. And there's a lot of like positive news coming out of that situation for sure.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
Yeah, definitely. And then I'd say, proximity wise, Indiana. But I think our biggest rivals are probably, like I said before, like Binghamton and Danbury. And those are the reasons that we get the most excited for those games. Those are the reasons that we have them circled on the calendar. Just really, very important to win those games and make sure that, we send a message.
Yeah, for sure. Now you guys used to be in the Continental Division, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're with
Going back a few
Carolina and
years, right?
those teams. Yeah, yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. We're with Carolina and those teams in the Continental. Yeah.
Yeah. How is that, like, even in terms of switching divisions and maybe seeing, I know you still, like, didn't necessarily only play against your division, but how is, like, even that shift? Like, how is that, like, going from one division of the league to now competing in a different division of the league, a little bit of a different makeup, different, maybe different travel depending on how much, you were playing each team in each division back when you guys were in the Continental. But like even that change there, like how has that been, or not really much of a difference? Like in your eyes, what was that like?
To be honest, it's not much of a difference to me. I mean, obviously, like I understand like the reason rationale for an unbalanced schedule, right? So, proximity and travel, like that all makes the most sense. We used to take trips down to Columbus every year, Biloxi every year, and then Carolina. We had a really good rivalry with them as well too. We felt like we met them every year in the playoffs for a while there, and then it's just different teams, and I think like the fan bases have to get acquainted and acclimated with like different teams and hating different teams. But I know we're an easy team to hate. I feel like so I don't think anyone's had a problem with that. But it's just getting those rivalries going and making those games like really high impact.
Yeah, and what's been your favorite rivalry over the course of your time here? Like even like you personally, like as a player, like even get a little selfish with it, like just for you, like what's been.
Yeah, I mean, me as a player, I guess I'd probably say Danbury because I played there, right? So I
Okay.
like playing there. It's a hostile environment. That's a place that it feels really good to win in. We've had some success there too. Carolina was fun for a few years there. Obviously, we didn't end up on the right side of those series, so that was a little tough. But it's yeah, I'd say probably Danbury the most because they've been in the league ever since I have. So yeah, it's fun playing those guys.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to most about this year?
Yeah, it's just I think getting the group that we have, put together and putting them on the ice and seeing how we can build and what we can accomplish. I think we have high goals and high aspirations for our team and our organization. I think that's something that came with new ownership as well too. Is our goals to be the standard of the league, right? When it comes to production of in-game stuff inside the facility, when it comes to broadcast, when it comes to on-ice play, everything we do, we want to be the best at. And I think that's why, as you alluded to earlier, like what's kept us so busy this offseason is making sure that we have all this stuff nailed down and we're working on this stuff constantly so that when, October rolls around, we're rolling right into it with our feet on the ground and we're, already in stride and in motion with this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're probably getting more support now than you ever have too, right? Within the organization. Like I know you've worn a lot of hats for for a long time and probably still do wear a lot of hats.
Yeah, it's the support's been great. Obviously, like I said, we've grown our staff from 2 to 3 to 4 to what do we have now? I'd say probably 10 plus. And we have people selling group tickets. We have dedicated salespeople. We have media people. We have a production team that's going to be working on our broadcasts and then our in-game stuff as well too.
Yeah, that's so
So
cool.
it's awesome. I mean, it's opened a lot of doors. Honestly, there's a lot of things that we couldn't do in the past just because we had such a small staff that had to do so much, and now the opportunities are actually like limitless with what we can do. Like this night, you'll see, or not this night, this year, you'll see. And historically we've had 4 or 5 themed games with specialty jerseys, and we've like really counted on like those companies and like those causes to
Yeah.
put these on and like organize them and stuff, and like we've helped out how we can. But this year, every single game of ours is going to be themed. So we have a different theme
Oh
going for
wow, everyone.
yeah, everyone. So we have
Wow.
a bunch of different themes. We have Star Wars night. We're doing a Paw Patrol night. We have, Law Enforcement Torch Run has a game, taking a shot at breast cancer. Like all these nights, and then
Yeah, it's awesome.
it gives people a reason to come out too, right? So that and the new projectors that are going to be on the ice. I think our fans are really going to be excited with this, and they're going to be like, "Hey, that was an event before the game even started," right?
Yeah.
So it's just going to make it that much better of a fan experience as well.
Yeah. How's the fan response been so far? Like have you guys done anything over the summer or whatnot, like in the community where you could start to kind of gauge and see like an uptick in anything yet or
Yeah, definitely. So we had a press conference a couple months ago, and we've gotten a lot of responses from our fans that they're excited. They love the energy of the new guy, Ken, who's the new owner of the team. They like his energy, they like his vision, and it's been overwhelmingly like supportive of everything so far. We have a lot of new partners and a lot of new season ticket holders and a lot of new fans that are just excited to get involved and excited to come out and see what it's going to be like this year.
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Um, I'm gonna throw a curveball at you. I told you I might do this. I'm gonna do it.
All right.
So in the Discord, we have a new channel called Shower Thoughts. All right. All random thoughts. I'm gonna give you one. I want your opinion.
Okay.
When does a taco bowl become a burrito bowl? Is it the beans?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
I
what
guess
makes it like what's the difference? When
maybe the kind of tortilla you put in it. I guess, right? I guess you put a burrito tortilla in a burrito bowl, and like you can put taco tortillas in there for that. If not, it's just a bowl, I guess.
yeah. I was thinking about the other day. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, anybody, yeah, it's a fun little channel in the Discord. So everybody watch at home, feel free to join Discord. Feel free to give your 2 cents. Feel free to post your own shower thoughts. Matt, anything you want to close with? Anything you want to say to the fans?
Yeah, I guess just like I just said, kind of it's repetitive, but like we're really excited for what's to come and what's on deck here. We have a lot of fun things planned. We have a lot of exciting things happening. Not just the team. I think like a lot of the growth we've seen over the past ever since I've been here has been organic, right, with our fan base and stuff. And I think last year, we averaged 1,300 people, which is it was good for us last year, but I think the most important thing was in the playoffs. We saw, over 2,000 people inside our building. I think, just trying to do this extra stuff to get us over the hump so that, we can have over 2,000 people in here consistently. I'm confident with everything that's going on and all the stuff that has been, put into the organization that we'll even, probably see a few sellouts this year as well too, which I think is just going to in turn, like increase season ticket numbers and increase partners and things like that as well too. Like a lot of it's been organic with, the product we've put on the ice and the support of like the fans and the community. But it's like, it's going to be nice because now it's finally time to give back to them and let them, enjoy the product even more than they already have been.
Yeah, that's great. Seems like you guys are at the top of your game. I'm happy for you. I'm excited to see it. Matt, thank you so much for doing this. Thanks for coming on and best of luck this year.
Yeah, thanks for having me and love what you guys have been doing. You've been doing a great job so far. So keep it up.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Matt.
Yep.
Hey guys, our new merch drop is live now on SH360. Visit 360.swanhockey.com and you can access it now. Once an item is gone, it may never return. You can also check the time capsule for older items. All SH360 purchases have season pass points attached. Just make sure that you use the same email address on SH360 as you do for Swan Hockey Digital. For more information or help with season pass, join the Discord. And there you have it, Matt Graham and the Port Huron Prowlers. Matt has done an awesome job over the years. I can't say that this organization would be where it is today without Matt. He's worn a lot of hats. He's done a great job. And let's do our proof of attendance token code for this episode. The code is PHP for Port Huron Prowlers. PHP. I think you guys know what to do by now. If you are new here and you don't know what to do, just join the Discord and we'll help you out. They proof of attendance tokens. They give you access to raffles. They have your season pass points attached to them for, if you're participating in our free rewards program, season pass. And before we wrap it up, anybody that has a press pass, be sure to check out the press pass channel in the Discord server. Make sure that your Discord is linked to your profile on swanhockey.io. And if you have a press pass, it'll automatically give you access to the press pass channel in the Discord. We want to start getting you guys involved in the show and providing a deeper experience for you guys. So make sure be sure to check that out if you're interested. Press passes can be obtained through season pass. And for more information on all of that, join the Discord. And that's going to be it for this episode. I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you for being the best part of this episode of FPHL Beyond the Glass by Swan Hockey. We will see you soon.